everyone! So I'm letting you know now, you might hear Dad and Lauren because they're having a very loud conversation and I have caramel over me. But I finally finished Dark Demon by Christine Feehan. Sorry, my light is a little farther away, so it's not shining light right here. But I finally finished this book, and I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised at how much I really liked this book. It like puts it up there as like with the other ones, or like really close to my enjoyment with the Razvan story. The entire story plotline was really great as well. We have, how should I start this? I think I'll just start with characters. We have Natalia, whom we finally find is this mysterious woman that we find out in Dark Destiny, and are little alluded to it in Dark Secret with Vikirnov. And we find out it's Natalia who made an appearance in Dark Secret, and we find out that she is like, well, we kind of find out in Dark Secret, but in here we really find out that she is part of the Dragon Seeker line and is the granddaughter of the ancient Rhiannon, and that she is part Carpathian, part human, and part mage. And apparently when she was born, she was infused with a tiger, so we know Carpathians can transform into whatever they want. Well, she has a bit of difficulty trying to transform, or she can't transform at all, but she can transform into a tiger. And apparently her eyes like change color, and also her skin and hair kind of like start striping in like the tiger way, like it'll stripe orange, black, and white. It'll start doing that. She's a very interesting character. She is a badass. She doesn't take no for an answer. She doesn't let the men, stop her from doing anything, even her mate. But she does realize that sometimes she has to be in the role of like the damsel in distress because it's something's itchy. Because it's better for the situation of sorts. And then there's Vikirnov. At first I was like indifferent with him. Like he was okay. I didn't have a real opinion about him until this book. It was until he met Natalia, like when he thought he wasn't going to find Natalia, and he felt that he was very close to becoming a vampire, and even thought he was showing vampire tendencies, and was saying, oh, I should have went to the dawn, or maybe I should go to the dawn now, and he's just apparently projecting a lot of this like guilt emotion and this overwhelming emotion of something I can't remember. I don't know the name. And like Natalia feels it, and she speaks on, I think it's the common wavelength, but I think like all life mates have this private wavelength that they talk on. But anyway, she tells him that, oh my god, you need to shut up. I'm trying to like kill or wound these vampires that are after me right now. They're like in front of me and whatnot. And he's just like, his total demeanor like completely changes from the very stoic, emotionless Carpathian that he is to, I kind of fell in love with Vikirnov and the whole dynamic between the two of them of like, he wanted like this very docile life mate that like Donna Reed, but then he has Natalia, and Natalia has her own anxiety of, she wants a life mate, she wants someone who loves her and is there for her and all that stuff, but she wants them to accept her the way she is. She is a warrior, she's a Xena warrior princess, that's what she described herself as. And even though like Vikirnov is like, I accept you, you're my life mate, and I have to. But he's also, at the beginning, he is a little thrown off of the whole Xena warrior princess type attitude of her, but he eventually comes to like, not just terms, but he comes to actually love the fact that she is a Xena warrior princess, and that he would not be happy with like a Donna Reed type person. So the storyline, really good. So we follow more of Natalia's kind of family line, and we find out more about like basically her family line. And if you remember, I can't remember which story it is, but the story of Joey and Train. It was one of those stories that are part of an anthology, but they go through this cavern that has all these crystal balls and weapons and had this shadow monster protecting them, and also they went through two very important chambers. That one that I just described, and another one that has two dragons encased in ice. And in this book, we get to go through both of those parts again. One, because she needed to pick up something that her father wanted her to pick up, or something. Yeah, her father. Natalia's father. I keep saying her, so you know it's Natalia. And Natalia, her, psychic power, basically, is that whatever item she touches, she can look into its past. And in its past, we find out, officially, that these dragons are alive, and that something's happened to her brother. And he's had children, and he had a child with him there that he was using for blood, and I know this child. It sort of alludes to a future book. Don't say anything in the comments if you know what book it is. And these dragons, burst out of the ice, and they rescue the child, but one of the dragons gets hurt, and the other one goes back to kind of protect it, and, they get encased in ice again, because that's where Joey and Train see them, and where Natalia and Feehan see them is, the second time that they're encased in ice. And we find out there's this magical book, and we find out Xavier, which is a mage, or a wizard, that a bunch of these people used to be around a lot more, but not so much anymore. It's basically him. And wizards/mages had a very good relationship with Carpathians, but Xavier, got power hungry, and he wanted to live forever, and was very jealous of the Carpathians because they had basically immortality. And so we hadn't heard from him, and apparently that is her grandfather, because he basically kidnapped Rhiannon, while at the same time killing her actual life mate, because, well, yeah. And yeah. And it's Natalia figuring out that hunters/Carpathians are not the bad guys that her whole childhood/life were made out to be, and just, finding a really great man and actual family that she can depend on, and doesn't have to be like, oh my god, you're just gonna die if I stick with you, sort of thing. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm sorry it took so long, but I'm not sorry because of the whole fact that I was in Disney and really couldn't read, but I did take long. And this previous week, where I returned on the 16th and I'm just finishing it today, the whole week pretty much, I was dealing with uploading all of the pictures and videos I took, Dad took, Manny took, and organizing all the pictures. I haven't even touched the videos, okay? So that's why it took so long. But I'm happy that it's done, and I'm relieved that it's done, because this has been kicking around for so long. But it's a very enjoyable book. I very much recommend it. I just love the banter between them. It was great. It was funny. The one thing I was weirded out, but not completely disappointed, was the fact that we didn't get the sex part until the last third of the book. And I'm just wondering, where is the sex? That's all. But I'm not like, oh my god, this is so depressing and disappointing. Where's the sex? But, as I said, I wasn't disappointed, because the first 2/3 of the book were just so entertaining, and the banter between them, and how she how they're trying to figure each other out, and she's like, you can't boss me around, I will not be bossed around, and I can't believe you said these ritual binding words, this spell, she assumes it is, even though Feehan keeps saying it's not a spell, it's something that is more ancient than that sort of thing. And it was great. And then when sex finally came, well, that was great too. So I very much recommend you read Dark Demon. And it's an interesting title, how they name it, because as I said, all her childhood and majority of her adult life, Natalia has always thought Carpathians were like these demon people and like they were all vampires, when actually they're not. And Carpathians are the good guys. So Dark Demon is a pretty interesting name. And how that picture is like that. I wish this was like an actual cutout, but the face here matches up with this face here. And like, there's Natalia. She actually can turn into a tiger, and it's pretty awesome how that happens. So I definitely recommend you guys read this book. It's very good, and you probably should read this book because it reveals certain things. I don't think it would be good to read that first. It's better if you read like other stuff first, like Dark Secret and I can't remember what Joey and Train's book is, but I would recommend that one too. Well, I would recommend that short story because it is a short story. It's an anthology. Oh my gosh, that is so difficult, like, to verbalize that sentence. So, my next book was supposed to be a bunch of stuff, but it is this book, Highland Bride by Colleen Faulkner. Oh my gosh, this is a book that I read a long time ago and I loved it. I love me my Scottish and Irish stories, like medieval type stories, that's like that. And this is actually part of a trilogy. This is actually the third book in the trilogy. I tried to get a hold of the first two, but the first one had 0 copies. And then the second one, they would have been able to acquire the e-reader, but I don't really do e-reader. I do have a Kobe, and I probably could download the app to acquire e-readers, but that's just, I do too much on the screen anyway, so I'd rather actually read the book. So I'm gonna read this. And while I'm reading this, I'm going to find out where the first book of the series of another Christine Feehan series. I have a book over there, and I think it's like early in the series, like book 2 or 3. If I'm wrong, I just know it's not book 1. So I know I have to find it. Hopefully I can get it through my normal libraries and it won't take that long, but if not, I'll have like, I have to read like a month. I have to read like Highland Bride and the next book in the Dark series before I get to that first book. Anyway, yeah. I haven't read this in so long and I am excited to read this. Yeah, so I'm gonna read the back here. Colleen Faulkner captures the essence of 17th century, I told you it was like medieval times, Scotland with a tale of forbidden love, greed, and the indomitable strength of the human spirit. To unite their clans, Cara is bound by marriage contract to the Gordon family. So when her intended husband dies in a bloody mountain skirmish, she is forced to marry his heir and younger brother, Harry, a mere 13-year-old boy. Trapped by fate, Cara fears their union and its consummation. Much to her relief, the new Earl is more in need of a mother's care than a lover's touch. Yet one man longs for Cara's caress, Harry's advisor and protector, his half-brother Ian. His attraction to Cara ignites into a scandalous desire that puts them both in great danger as forces, both outside and inside the castle, are lying in wait to remove Harry from power by any means necessary. But for Cara, who has never once known a love of another, her feelings cannot be denied, and only Ian's undying devotion will embolden her to face a future fraught with intrigue, one that may destroy everyone she holds closest to her heart. And I get, since I'm gonna I can only read this, which I'm very happy about. I love this story. I also want to say that paint is being ridiculous that I have on my computer, and I can't make a collage, and I'm trying to find a like free download of Photoshop or like a photo editing thing, because I want to make a collage for like my end card on my Disney videos, but I can't seem to find it. And this sucks. Yeah. I don't know whether I'm going to add this little bit, but, you know, I'm currently doing this right now, so I figured I'd add it. So anyway, I hope you liked this kind of a little, I don't know, I feel like these book reviews are weird, but in comparison to the other booktubers I watch, but this is the way I review my books. I had no problems with Dark Demon. It was a really good book and I enjoyed it, and I want you to enjoy it, so I want you to read it. If you've read it, you can say in the comments below if you liked it or not, and how you liked the characters and all that. And just don't be nasty in the comments, because we do not need nastiness in the world. And also, if you've read any other dark books, you can leave in the comments down below. And, you know, just don't spoil stuff, because I haven't finished the series, and, you know, other people might not have read it and may want to read it. And if this is the first time you're watching my videos, please hit that big red subscribe button down there by my picture for more book reviews, hauls, let's plays, unboxing, unbagging, something's coming, a bubble wrap, vanilla envelope, or a plastic bag wrap thingy, vlogmas, random vlogs, and random videos I have no idea what to categorize. And I'm going to try to edit together a art trip trailer, which is just, you know, a compilation of a couple of videos from all the days, just to give my family a taste so that I have more time to edit each day in its entirety. So I'm gonna go, because you're gonna start to overheat, and I'm gonna start getting annoyed by the light in my eyeballs, and I really want to wash my face. I really want to do that right now, because my own eyeballs just like all day long, kind of like I just want to rub my eyes like all over, and I can't do that because I got makeup on. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Good night, everyone.